Cause they say Shorty flat out told they like, man, Lil Durk told me to do that shit. And he paid me to do it. Right? Showing receipts. Like, this nigga gave me real money to get this man gone. A lot of money. Right? Why is this man not in jail, gang? Lil Durk name. The paperwork dropped with Shorty No for Face World on this. It's six little niggas from Face World or somewhere else, all them telling about this, that, and the third.
During an interview FBG Butta had with VladTV back in April of 2024, Butta would predict the entire Lil Durk case like he was Nostradamus. He would predict the outcome of Durk's case with eerie accuracy months before Durk was actually arrested for murder for hire. Butta makes valid points in the Lil Durk case. He goes back to the paid murder of his friend FBG Duck and makes a statement about the body cam arrest footage of Muwap not being accessible to the public. He says that it's this way because Muwap was arrested with the quote-unquote informant, aka Lil Durk. So that's why we're unable to see his arrest footage.
Y'all ain't seen Muwap since he murders, have y'all? Y'all wanna know why?
Why is that?
Because they got locked up with the fucking informant himself. On Tuka, shorty. They got locked up with the FBI biggest informant, gang. Think about it. They got snatched off a private jet. Dude, them niggas ain't even had no real good ass lawyers. How the fuck you think they paying for a private jet, gang?
Butta goes further to prove his point by saying that none of the O-Block guys really had money after the death of King Von. So how were they able to pay to fly on private jets? Basically insinuating that Lil Durk paid for the private jets because he was the only one with enough money to do so.
Von did.
Von had what?
Von is dead, right?
Okay, well,
how the f is these niggas paying for a jet?
At the time, yeah.
Who the f got a jet fueled up and got these boys flew to Chicago in 5 hours? Who got money to do that? They ain't got no jet money, gang.
I don't got jet money.
Come on, bro. Them boys got snatched at the airport on a private hangar.
Butta then states that Durk paid for a murder, but the shooters ended up killing the wrong person. But the evidence still points to Lil Durk regardless. Butta was referring to the shooting of Quando Rondo's friend, Lil Pop, when Rondo was really the target of interest.
They called Durk, hey, you get them guys here, we gonna come get you with them. Cause just like the evidence they had on Shorty, and they had on Durk too, that you just paid to get your fucking brother killed. How you not in jail? We ain't talking about this shit. This shit just ain't happening in our face, huh? Guess what? Bugs Bunny back again. The rapper got the gun and I know what I'm doing with this bitch, bro. Y'all, I quit. Now, seriously though, this is a real fact though. Really think about this. Who the f you know name get brought up and with actually proven facts that you done paid me some money to go kill a motherfucker. And I'd have killed the wrong motherfucker too. You didn't pay me to kill, I'd have killed the wrong motherfucker for me to turn around and go kill a right motherfucker though, but you, the police know I work for you.
After his interview and later that year, FBG Butta would be arrested in October of 2024. He would be arrested for taking the police on a high-speed chase before crashing his vehicle into a wall. FBG Butta is still locked up with no scheduled release as of yet.
WGN Investigates has exclusive new details, including this body cam footage showing a chase and eventual arrest of a repeat felon in the western suburbs. The man is no stranger to law enforcement. He testified in the high-profile murder trial for Chicago rapper gunned down in the Gulf Coast.
That's right. As investigative reporter Ben Bradley found, a series of arrests and convictions hasn't been enough to keep him off the streets.
Gunfire in the Gold Coast in 2020 created a startling scene. Shell casings next to luxury boutiques. Prosecutors said rival gang members gunned down Carlton Weekly, better known as FBG Duck. This man, Rakeem Wilton, testified at the federal trial, providing insight into a raging war between rival Southside gangs, but refusing to, as he put it, snitch on anyone still alive. Fast forward to West Suburban Hinsdale last week. An officer tried to pull over a car driving erratically at 5 a.m. when the driver fled.
It's all over the roadway. Just smoked the curb.
The driver crashed into an embankment.
Just threw something outside the window. I can't tell what it is. Hands out the window! Hey, put your hands out! Hey, get back in the car! Back in the car! Get back in the car! Foot pursuit over the tracks.
Officers quickly caught up to Wilton.
Stop! 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 Stop!
Once he was cuffed, he clammed up.
What's your first name?
I ain't got no name.
What do you want me to call you?
Police say they found 2 guns. That, combined with Wilton's criminal history, raises questions. Court records show he pled guilty to conspiracy to commit murder in 2015 and was sentenced to 8 years. He only had to serve half that time. He's also been charged with aggravated unlawful use of a weapon at least 3 times in Cook County. He was convicted once and got a year. Another case was dropped after a judge suppressed evidence. Cook County prosecutors sought detention after the most recent arrest in March, but a judge released him.
My girl good?
Your girl's good.
I will. Whatever going on, put it on me.
All of Wilton's previous crimes occurred in Cook County. Last week, he was 1 mile into DuPage County when he was arrested. State's Attorney Bob Berlin charged him with a Class X felony, and a DuPage judge ordered him locked up and held until trial. Police aren't sure what Wilton and his girlfriend were doing in Hinsdale at 5 in the morning.
So where is he right now? Locked up?
He's locked up in the DuPage County Jail, but the story draws that distinction between similar crime, unlawful use of a weapon or possession by a felon. In Cook County, you're oftentimes just right back out on the street. In DuPage, they upgrade the charge and you
We've
stay
seen
locked
that
up.
before.
Different laws.
Same law, different approach.
Different approach. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
New details tonight in a deadly shooting near the Beverly Center. We've learned the victim is a friend of rapper Quando Rondo. The Atlanta-based performer shared this picture on Instagram today. According to the LAPD, the victim was ambushed by 3 men while getting gas on Friday. Video from the scene appears to show Quando Rondo distraught while first responders moved the body. So far, no arrests have been made.
Topping today's speed feed, a $250,000 bond for rapper Lil Durk. Durk Banks is charged with attempted murder in Fulton County in connection to a shooting outside of the Varsity in February. The judge today ordered the Chicago rapper to wear an ankle monitor and follow curfew restrictions, but the judge stopped short of ordering house arrest due to the nature of the rapper's career. Another condition of release, Banks cannot have a gun, even a replica or a toy. Banks denies shooting the man who survived.
We want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk is charged in a murder for hire plot.
Lil Durk's real name is Durk Bank, and he is from Chicago. This is his mugshot from Florida, where he was arrested last night and is being held without bond. This comes only hours after 5 people associated with his music business were also accused and taking part in that murder for hire plot. Now, the plot targeted rapper Quando Rondo's cousin, who was killed in 2022. Investigators believe it was retaliation for the earlier murder of Chicago rapper King.
Lil Durk donated $150,000 to Mayor Brandon Johnson's campaign, and when the mayor was asked if he would return the money, this is what he said.
What will you do with the money?
Well, as I said, right now we have allegations, right, that he has not been tried.
The mayor went on to say Lil Durk has been instrumental in helping children in Chicago.
Lil Durk has recently been all over the headlines due to the fact that OTF has been indicted, including Durk himself. One OTF member is even facing the federal death penalty, and the same fate could be for Durk as well. And this isn't the first time that Durk has been in trouble with the law, especially for gun-related offenses. Back in 2019, rapper Lil Durk was in court for a probable cause hearing about his alleged involvement in a shooting outside the Varsity in downtown Atlanta. The shooting happened on February 5th at 5:49 a.m.
shooting outside of an Atlanta landmark sends a man to the hospital in serious condition. Tonight, a massive search is underway for the gunman.
The shots were fired in the parking lot of the Varsity in Midtown after hours. Fox 5's Patty Pan joins us live from the scene now. And Patty, what do we know so far?
Yeah, the motive behind the shooting still unknown. What we do know is that the victim was taken to Atlanta Medical Center in serious condition, and tonight police are still looking for that shooter, last seen in a dark-colored SUV.
I think I just was a victim of circumstance. I don't really think, it just happens. It's life.
A man who calls himself Gutter Boy says he didn't see the shooting, but is definitely affected by the aftermath. His car was among those parked in the Varsity parking lot on North Avenue Tuesday morning when shots rang out. He tells Fox 5 his car was shot up some 20 times.
After I've seen that, I definitely thank God, that I wasn't in the car. So that's all I can do.
Atlanta police were called to the Varsity just before 6 in the morning for a person shot call. When they arrived, they found a man with gunshot wounds to the leg.
There's several shell casings over in that area.
This was a scene in the early morning hours as investigators gathered evidence and police canvassed the area with canines. We're told a lot of people park at the Varsity parking lot after hours to go to a nearby club. Preliminary investigation indicates there was some sort of altercation in the parking lot after hours. At some point, the victim was shot and managed to run a short distance where he then collapsed. Now, the Varsity today did release a statement to Fox 5, in part reading, quote, "Thankfully, no Varsity employees or customers were on site, and we are cooperating with Atlanta Police Department to help any way possible." We again want to reiterate that the Varsity was closed at the time of the shooting.
An Atlanta police detective said Lil Durk, whose real name is Derek Banks, was seen on video shooting a man near the Varsity while he was driving. Just before 2 p.m. Friday, the judge found probable cause for Lil Durk and his co-defendant, Devontae Bennett, to be charged with possession and criminal intent to commit murder, among other charges. We all should be up to speed by now as far as the death of King Von, who was, an OTF affiliate, O Block member. King Von was involved in a back and forth beef with NBA YoungBoy, who's also affiliated with Quando Rondo. Von had a show down in Atlanta, ended up getting into a fist fight with Quando Rondo, and in his defense, Lil Tim shot King Von, and King Von died later on at the hospital. Because of these events, this is what led to the shooting of Lil Pab, or Lil Pab, who is Quando Rondo's best friend, and this happened in LA.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say shot at a Savannah rapper, killing a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath. Shots fired, a fight taken to the streets, and this chaotic scene, the ending of a shooting that started in Los Angeles, California. Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight. It all started at this mobile gas station at 5:30 Friday evening. LAPD says witnesses heard multiple gunshots, then watched a couple cars zoom off. 3 people in one car shot at this black Cadillac Escalade. It's unclear if those inside shot back.
Can I get some space, please?
It ended at Santa Monica Boulevard. Deputies found it peppered with bullet holes and a shattered window. One man inside, a member of Rondo's entourage, had been shot. The 23-year-old was taken to the hospital where he died. A scene left with remnants of the fight, shoes left in the street, doors flung open. The suspects still on the run. We still don't know what spurred it all, but LAPD says it started at a gas pump.
Victim vehicle, they pulled up, they were pumping gas, and it looks like they probably finished pumping gas, and the suspects approached from the alley, got out of the car, and started shooting at those victims.
Investigators are still trying to piece together details, but they're looking for a white 4-door sedan with suspects wearing dark clothing.
Police helicopters overhead, so we knew something was up.
People in the neighborhood shocked by the news.
Disappointed. There have been a lot of incidents in the past couple years. It does seem that things have been happening more often on Melrose, between Fairfax and Melrose and around here.
According to TMZ, Rondo was not injured.
Quando Rondo is mourning the loss of 23-year-old Lil Pab, who was fatally shot in Los Angeles on Friday, August 19. The Atlanta rapper was filmed at the scene of the crime, screaming as the man's body was pulled from the black Cadillac Escalade riddled with bullets.
And a wild scene here as investigators say the apparent target of this deadly gunfire, a rapper from the Atlanta area. They say a pretty well-known rapper, too, in this area, along with a second person in his black Cadillac Escalade. May have been a relative, may have been a member of his entourage, we don't know, but it's that second person, not the rapper, but the second person who was hit by gunfire, dies from the gunfire. Let's get right into it. Mike, you'll give you a look. The gas station here, this is right across the street from the busy Beverly Center on La Cienega. See all that broken glass there? That's where the Escalade is parked. They're getting gas when all of a sudden the windows are blown out by gunfire. They're under attack by bullets flying all over the place. To the left, Mike, you'll give you a look. See all those white evidence markers on the ground? Each one of those is by a shell casing. Gives you an idea how many rounds are fired. Police say in that alleyway, the white vehicle pulls up, 3 men get out, and they start firing at will, blasting away, targeting that black SUV, the rapper, and his second person inside. Up top, Sky Fox, a better look at this area so you can imagine the chaos here. It's right across the street, catty corner from the busy Beverly Center. About 5:40 in the afternoon, rush hour traffic going by on La Cienega. Shoppers at the Beverly Center, and you have bullets flying like crazy here. 3 gunmen firing at will at that black SUV. Hit several times, and they drive off trying to make a getaway to get away from the bullets that are flying. Some more video now. Ground video gives you an idea of how this plays out. So once that SUV is hit by the gunfire, they take off, they hit the gas, and they drive a few blocks away into West Hollywood. They wind up stopping over at Santa Monica and San Vicente, right in the very heart of West Hollywood. You know, over there by the sheriff's station, also by the West Hollywood Park. They pull over there because the wounds to the man who was hit inside the Escalade too severe. He's bleeding. They pull over. 911 is called. Paramedics rush in. They take the injured man who's hit by gunfire to the ER. He does not make it, does not survive. So that area now in West Hollywood, also very busy, as you can imagine, on a Friday night, late summer. That is all tied up as a part of this investigation, a deadly shooting investigation. Then you have the second location here at the gas station where bullets fly. Investigators say the manhunt is on now. The manhunt on for these 3 gunmen who, as one witness said, turned into hitmen, almost execution style. Listen to the lieutenant.
They gassed up their vehicle, and as they were getting into their vehicle, a white car approached from the alley. 3 men got out of that car. They were in all dark clothing. They approached, fired numerous shots, and then left in that white car going eastbound in the alley north of Beverly. It does appear that we don't see any kind of argument or anything go on beforehand, so clearly these men came here with a mission in mind.
Now you're looking live. The mission in mind is gunfire targeting that black SUV, the rapper inside apparently. Still this area, they're still questioning a few people over there. Investigators want to make sure that there wasn't gunfire back and forth. Doesn't appear to be the case, but to give you an idea, the shots rang out there, and right across the street, the Beverly Center. Imagine that, 5:30 in the afternoon. Incredibly, no one else hit by the gunfire. You saw all the rounds that are filed. So at this late hour, we've got 3 gunmen on the loose. We've got a white vehicle that's the target of the manhunt, and a man who has died in that black SUV tied to the rapper who's from the Atlanta area. For now, we are live here in the Hollywood area. Ed Lascos, back to Butta.
Do we not know the rapper's name yet, Ed?
No indications yet. Investigators, I think, have a very good idea. They're not releasing anything yet because they're still trying to put the tie together on the man who dies here. They don't know if it's a relative or maybe a part of the entourage. As you know, a lot of these fellows always have a big entourage they travel with. So I think until they can get that ID nailed down, particularly notifying family members and relatives, they're not saying at this point.
Hey, tell them what's going on, Jam.
Hey, you know what's so crazy though? Motherfucker be sitting up there doing all this, sneak this and internet games and all this. Up some money, do something. Like, we winning, bro. I can do it. Whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Not what I want to do what I want. Y'all can't do that, bro. Goof,
bro got out what?
You know that
how many you did all?
How many years I did it now?
Yeah. It's your last bit. 12?
12.
That boy popped out 12 years. Yeah. So much money. We really was just getting that in order to just figure out the lanes, man, boy.
Feels so good, man. 2 lawyers, man.
I tell them about the building you got?
Everything.
Man, it's closed on the building, man. We ain't f***ing around.
No, we didn't.
The informant, identified as OTF member Jam, allegedly wore a hidden wire for several years to gather evidence for authorities. Jam who was released from prison in 2022 after serving 12 years for attempted murder, reportedly provided information directly linking Banks to the murder-for-hire scheme against Rondo, born Tyquane Terrell Bowman. According to the indictment, multiple individuals tied to OTF coordinated the plot and discussed payments after the alleged attempt on Bowman's life. On the same day, OTF-associated credit cards were reportedly used to book flights for several individuals involved to return to Chicago. Prosecutors state that these transactions and the informant's recordings played key roles in linking Banks to the murder-for-hire plan. The plan allegedly involved offering music industry opportunities and cash rewards in exchange for the killing of Bowman, believed by some to be involved in the killing of King Von, born Davon Bennett, outside an Atlanta nightclub in 2020. There are rumors that are starting to spread that OTF member Jam was in a relationship with the Chicago Postal woman who was killed a few months ago, Octavia Redmond. At that time, she was on a case as a witness, and the rumors at that time that started to spread way before the Durk indictment and everything like that, the rumors that surrounded her death was she was taken out basically to be silenced on not speaking on a case that was going on that she was a witness for. A postal worker was shot to death while on the job in front of a Southside home on Friday, officials said. Chicago police said the shooting happened in the West Pullman neighborhood of South Harvard Avenue just before 11:40 a.m.
And we begin with breaking news. $250,000. That's the reward being offered to help catch the gunman who killed a mail carrier today in West Pullman. Our Suzanne Lemonniot is live at that scene with new details about the victim and what happened. Suzanne.
Erica, I want you to take a look right here behind me. Now you are going to see the postal truck still here at the scene. Next to that truck, you see a large number of U.S. Postal Service police investigating this murder. The postal worker was standing in front of a home right at that intersection when she was shot by someone multiple times.
We have gunshot wound to the right side of the neck, 2 gunshot wounds to the hip, and 1 to the, I'm not sure how many to the chest, but she was shot on the chest.
Postal worker Octavia Redmond was taken to Christ Hospital where she died. Redmond, who was 48 years old, was in front of a home near West 122nd Street and South Harvard Avenue just after 11 this morning. That's when police say an unknown man walked up to her and started shooting.
My heart is shattered because it was a nice lady.
Kim Sanders says she would see Redmond on South Harvard Avenue nearly every day.
Whenever she comes, she always smiling like, "Hey, how you doing, Kim? Do you want me to put the mail in the mailbox or you want me to hand it to you?" She just come up and down the block and just deliver the mail, didn't bother nobody. So it's like it's devastated to the area. It was amazing to hear that she got shot on this particular block.
A federal agent with the U.S. Postal Service was at the scene along with numerous Chicago police officers and detectives.
Investigating the loss of life is the most important thing we can do. So when we lose one of our own, a postal employee, we take it as seriously as anything we could do in this job. This is why we're here. We do have other, jobs and other things to investigate as well, obviously, but all those things take a backseat when something like this happens today.
They were going door to door, speaking with those on the block and seeing if any of the houses with surveillance systems captured the crime on camera. A white Durango was seen leaving the area right after the shooting. Now, the United States Postal Inspection Service offering up to a $250,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction in Redmond's murder. Tips can be called in anonymously 24/7 to the number that you see right now on your screen. That number, 877-876-2455.
After getting justice 9 months ago, when 6 people were found guilty for FBG Duck's murder, the rapper's mother is now seeking out civil repercussions. On Wednesday, October 9th, the Chicago Sun-Times reported Lashina Weekly filed a lawsuit holding rappers Lil Durk, King Von, and others responsible for Duck's slaying in August of 2020. Duck was shot and killed while shopping with his girlfriend in Chicago's Gold Coast area. Defendants in the lawsuit include Durk, the late King Von's estate, their record labels, the city of Chicago, Dolce & Gabbana, and 2 private security firms, and the 6 men convicted for the brazen daylight killing.
Lawsuit seeking to hold a rapper from Chicago accountable in the killing of another artist in 2020.
The complaint also accuses the city of Chicago of willful misconduct. Tia Ewing read through the court filing and joins us now to break it all down for us. Tia?
Well, there is a lot to break down, Sylvia and Terrence, because this lawsuit is 229 pages. FBG Duck, also known as Carlton Weekly, was killed August of 2020 outside Dolce & Gabbana on the Gold Coast. His mother is now suing rapper Lil Durk, the estate of late rapper King Von, record labels, and several other music companies. The word profit is used 102 times in the suit, claiming the music companies threw money behind rapper Lil Durk and King Von because it made them even more money by keeping the 2 gang feuds going. FBG Duck was an alleged member of the Flyboy gang, and Lil Durk and King Von were allegedly part of the gang known as the Family. The 2 groups would put out diss tracks, increasing their popularity. It's also believed members were signed to music deals based on how they ranked in the gang. On page 2 of the lawsuit, it shows this image from an album released back in 2019 by only the Family, along with Alamo Records, Sony Music, and Interscope Records. Lawyers from Dinazulu Law Group says the chart reinforces the organized nature of the gang.
We have laid out in our complaint time and time again numerous individuals associated and signed to these labels that were engaged in dangerous, violent activity, which led to August 4th, 2020.
It has been a long road, but there's finally light at the end of the tunnel. My son deserves better. So does his children.
The lawsuit also accuses the city of Chicago of willful misconduct, claiming that police and emergency services failed to promptly aid FBG Duck because he was alive in the street for more than 17 minutes without any medical help. The store Weekly was shopping at Dolce & Gabbana, and its security firms are also being sued for negligence. I did reach out to Lil Durk's legal team. Right now, they are not commenting on this civil lawsuit.
Lil Durk recently received the keys to the city of Chicago, but this was before his arrest. One suburban Chicago mayor withdraws village key from Lil Durk days after his recent arrest.
Local rapper and Grammy winner Lil Durk is being held behind bars in South Florida, charged in a murder for hire plot back in 2022.
The FBI says he was arrested while trying to flee the country. Investigators believe Lil Durk put out a hit on another rapper, Quando, Rondo, in retaliation for the earlier murder of Chicago rapper King Von. Rondo's cousin also died in a shooting at a Los Angeles gas station caught on camera. Several of Lil Durk's associates have also been arrested in connection with this same plot. Last week, Lil Durk was celebrated by 2 West suburban mayors. They even gave the rapper keys to their villages and partnered with his foundation.
Now, after his arrest, one of those mayors is backtracking. Our Charlie DeMar has the story from Bellwood.
The mayor here in Bellwood says he won't take back the key to his village until the legal process plays itself out. Meanwhile, in Broadview, the mayor there wasting no time and has already withdrawn the key to her community.
Durk Banks, or Lil Durk, was honored and celebrated last week with keys to the villages of Bellwood and Broadview.
And so on behalf of the village of Broadview, we are honored to present this key to the city to Durk Banks Neighborhood Heroes.
Both mayors were on hand for the ceremony and took time to pose for pictures. A partnership with the rapper's foundation was announcannounced in front of students from both communities.
This is a momentous occasion to have Lil Durk with us in our communities. We want to give him another round of applause.
But the symbolic gesture was met with backlash even before news of Lil Durk's latest arrest on murder for hire charges.
So are we glorifying that, or are we saying that that's okay?
He's not even from this, he's from the South Side.
Broadview Mayor Katrina Thompson defended her decision to give Lil Durk the key to the village at a board meeting earlier this week.
I am a mayor and I'm proud to have made that connection.
It just doesn't send the best message to our residents, to our community.
Angela Patterson is running for mayor in Broadview. Janelle Moreland is the current village clerk in Bellwood and a mayoral candidate.
You know, so what about the people that have been active in our communities, that have done some great things in our communities?
After Lil Durk was arrested in Florida, Broadview's mayor withdrew the honor, saying in part, as mayor, protecting Broadview's interests and upholding the values of residents is job number one.
I do think it's too late. I think we should have not given him the key from the very beginning.
Bellwood's mayor says he was surprised to learn of Lil Durk's arrest, but is not ready to take away the key, saying we live in the United States of America, where the accused is innocent until proven guilty.
You think Mayor Harvey should have taken the key back?
Absolutely. Absolutely. At least it would show my concern for my community, right? At least it would show, like, I don't condone this.
Both suburban mayors declined an on-camera interview.
Lil Durk recently celebrated his 32nd birthday with a concert that he held in Chicago. This was the first time that Durk performed in his hometown in a minute. He was there to help push the peace along with FYB J-Mane and Tay Savage. This marked a monumental point in the Chicago drill scene because he hung a banner during the concert displaying all the fallen Chicago rappers who were killed. He even had a lot of his enemies on the banner, including FBG Duck. At that moment, the drill scene took a turn for the better with all the peace being pushed. The peace would be short-lived because the same night of the Lil Durk concert, a teen was shot and killed outside of the concert. The shooting death of an Elgin teen while walking to Chicago's United Center to see a Lil Durk concert has left his family devastated, his mother said Tuesday. He was truly the light in my life, as are his brothers, Doris Kendall said of her 18-year-old son, Jess, who was shot about 7 p.m. Sunday and pronounced dead at 2:50 a.m. Monday at Stroger Hospital in Chicago. 2 other teenagers, 15 and 19, were also wounded in the shooting and taken to the same hospital.
In fact, we just spoke with the brothers of the 18-year-old victim who was shot in his chest. They tell me that the 18-year-old was out with a group of friends headed to a Lil Durk concert at the United Center. Now, we do want to take you to video of the mass police presence at the scene from earlier tonight. They told me their brother and his friends were approached by a group of people on bikes and was shot after a struggle with the suspect's gun. This all unfolding just before 7 this evening near Walcott and Maple, just steps away from the United Center. Police say a 15-year-old boy was shot in the hand and was grazed in the abdomen. That teen is the only one listed in good condition. That 18-year-old man, who family members say is from Elgin, was shot in his chest, and a 19-year-old man was hit in the rib area. Both are listed in critical condition. Relatives say the suspects tried to mug the group of friends before shots were fired.
Parked, they were waiting for their friends to arrive, and then 4 kids pulled up on them, had their guns out, 2 on divvies, 2 on feet, and then they go up to them and, they mug them. They pull his girlfriend's purse, make her empty out the pockets, then they go to him, make him hand over all his stuff and everything. They pistol whip him again and he goes to the ground. He grabs for their gun, from what his girlfriend has told me, and then they shoot him.
Now, family members say that the victims are undergoing surgery. As we speak, police say so far no one is in custody.
The Grammy-winning rapper Lil Durk was arrested on federal charges near Miami International Airport on Thursday over accusations that he conspired to kill a rap rival, resulting in the fatal shooting of another person. Lil Durk put out a bounty on the life of another rapper identified only as TB by prosecutors as retaliation for the 2020 killing of the rapper King Von, a member of the hip-hop collective Only the Family, which Lil Durk founded, according to the federal criminal complaint filed in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California.
Federal authorities moved quickly over the last 48 hours to find and arrest Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Banks. Prosecutors say Banks even tried fleeing the country after 5 of his alleged co-conspirators were arrested just this week.
The family of Durk Banks seen leaving federal court today in support of the Chicago-born rapper. Banks was arrested in Florida Thursday facing charges of conspiracy to commit murder for hire and conspiracy to use facilities for murder for hire. The 32-year-old was arrested after 5 members of his Only the Family group, also known as OTF, were indicted by a California grand jury this week on charges of conspiracy to commit murder for hire.
We knew when the others were charged that it was a conspiracy and there were multiple players in it. The fact that he's now been charged in such close proximity to those other charges suggests, of course, that this is related to them and that the conspiracy is even wider than originally presented.
Court documents allege that Banks paid for and planned out the attempted murder of rival rapper Quando Rondo in Los Angeles in retaliation for the murder of OTF rapper Davon Bennett, also known as King Von. Prosecutors say hitmen hired by Banks opened fire on Rondo in August of 2022 while he and a cousin were near their vehicle at a gas station in LA. Rondo survived, but his cousin was killed. Now, as prosecutors move forward with the case, members of the OTF group will likely be used to try and turn a conviction.
They will almost certainly be looking to flip someone who's in on the conspiracy and use their testimony against other defendants. Maybe there's a wiretap here. There may be undercover recordings. All those pieces will come together to make the case against the defendants.
Prosecutors also accused Banks of trying to flee the country this week after his alleged co-conspirators were arrested. They say Banks booked multiple international flights, which he never boarded. Then, Banks allegedly had plans to board a private jet Thursday, departing from Miami to Italy before he was arrested. This arrest also comes after Banks was recently given the keys to the village of Bellwood and Broadview. Today, the mayor of Broadview responding with a statement saying in part, "The village of Broadview is withdrawing our honorary key to the village granted to Durk and is terminating our partnership agreement with his youth organization. As mayor, protecting Broadview's interests and upholding the values of residents is job number 1.
Lil Durk's team has not responded to our request for comment. We also learned today that Lil Durk donated $150,000 to Mayor Brandon Johnson's campaign in the past. We'll hear the mayor's reaction to today's news ahead on our news at 5.
Lil Durk, 32, whose legal name is Durk Banks, appeared in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida on Friday. He remained in federal custody and was expected to be arraigned in Los Angeles in the coming weeks, according to prosecutors. He was charged with conspiracy to use interstate facilities to commit murder for hire, resulting in death. Around the time the flights were purchased, a telephone number that prosecutors said was associated with Lil Durk was used to text an associate saying, quote unquote, "Don't book no flights under no names connected to him," according to the FBI affidavit. On August 19, 2022, the hitman opened fire on TB, unloading at least 18 rounds at his vehicle near a gas station close to West Hollywood, California. While TB was uninjured, a family member of his was killed. Out of all of the OTF members that are currently in custody, they're looking to give the federal death penalty to OTF Didi.
Biscuit D! Free that man! Yeah! Beat that body! Beat that body! Oh, folks, still look, the 2 beat the bodies! Oh, folks, man!
Hey, Mom, stop playing, man. Play too much. J-Boy had to pop on, see what y'all on this month. Jacob, we on? I know, I'm back.
They said that he stalked and tracked Quando Rondo for days before the brazen shooting happened in Hollywood. OTF Didi beat a murder case previously. Alright y'all, there y'all have it. That's the story of Lil Durk and OTF being arrested by the feds. Hey, get in the comment section and let me know what y'all think, man. Do y'all think they gonna give Durk the death penalty? Cause they definitely trying to give it to OTF Didi. Hey man, y'all know what it is, man. Drillers and trappers, we out here trapping and drilling 247. Don't go nowhere. Watch that next video. Gang!